something was missing. I was hoping painting would help me find whatever that was, or at least help me end the afternoon on a happy note. All day, Friedborg, my mom's lady-in-waiting, had been teaching me royal manners. Mom had explained that Friedborg was helping me only until I had a lady-in-waiting of my own. I didn't think I needed one. Up until now, I'd taught myself everything, including advanced astronomy. But I was starting to realize that princesses have to do everything differently. Earlier, Friedborg had spent hours instructing me on how to sit down properly, and then we'd spent the rest of the day practicing how to open a door. I wanted to do my best, but I was struggling to even have a conversation with Friedborg since she's not exactly a big talker. "So, I guess you're to show me how to sit?" I asked with a tentative grin as she stood in front of me, pointing to a chair. She gave me an abrupt nod. Then she shifted her skirts, moved her knees to one side, and dropped into the chair as though she had lost feeling in her legs. "Like this?" I asked, keeping my back extra stiff and lowering the bottom half of my body as if it were completely disconnected from my torso. She grunted and frowned, then signaled for me to rise. Okay, I sighed, wondering how sitting down could be such an art. Was I going to have to learn everything from scratch? Would tomorrow's lesson be about how to stand up? What about walking? It was overwhelming to think about everything I needed to know. I took a breath and tried to focus on the positive. Maybe Friedborg could be my friend if I just tried a little harder. I decided to start with the basics. "So, which do you like better, vanilla or chocolate?" She stared at me for a moment as though I'd just asked her something too personal, like what color her bloomers were. Oh gosh, I thought, I have so much to learn. I guessed that she wasn't up for small talk, so without any conversation at all, I practiced standing and sitting until my feet swelled in my toe-pinching shoes. 3 hours and 2 blisters later, not only had I learned how to sit down like a lady, but I also knew how to close a door without ever turning my back to my company and how to properly hold a teacup. Pascal snuck into the room toward the end of the day and just shook his head as if to say, "Manners are overrated." I had to agree. I'd landed on the ground in a low crouch, and when I stood up, I couldn't believe my eyes. Eugene was there, presenting me with my sketch pad as though it were the most perfect rose. "Eugene, you brought me my paper. How did you—" "I know you well," Eugene said with a smile. "The paints and brushes were gone, and I thought, what do you bet my girl is missing this?" "Aw, thanks," I said as he handed me the notebook. My shoulders dropped a half-inch and warmth flooded my heart. I hugged him. For a split second, I wondered if I had done that properly, but then I remembered it was Eugene, the person I could truly be myself around. Eugene gave the guards a look and they backed off a bit. "Do you notice anything different?" he asked, turning in a slow circle and striking his handsome man pose, though he doesn't need to posture. Eugene's warm brown eyes and mischievous smile are irresistible from any angle. I said, checking him over. "Is it the new shirt?" "Nope," he said. "Have those boots been polished?" I asked. "Well, yeah, but that's not what I was hoping you'd notice," he said. "Did the barber give you another haircut?" I asked. Eugene had had a royal grooming treatment every day since we arrived at the castle. "Getting warmer," Eugene said, lighting up. I said, "If you're talking about the swoop of your bangs being a little swoopier, then I don't think that really counts as a change." "What do you mean it doesn't count?" Eugene asked. "The steeper swoop totally changes the shape of my face. Adds a touch of sophistication, don't you think? Does the word debonair come to mind?" "Eugene, you always look great. Now, how about I race you to the top of that tree?" I said, drawing a starting line in the dirt with my foot. "I can't," Eugene said with a sigh. "Why not?" I asked, raising my eyebrow in a challenge. "Afraid I'll beat you?" "Never," he winked. "Actually, your dad really wants me to brush up on laws against criminals and the punishments for breaking them. He says it's part of the, formal education I may be lacking." "Oh," I said.